Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. We're out here in the harder nature, baby. Someone wrote to me asking how to stop thinking you're never going to be good enough. How to overcome this feeling of thinking you're not good enough. And I've dealt with this along my early journey. So let me just breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Is that you out there never feeling good enough? Because this is something that affects so many people. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Let me share with you what's helped me along my journey. Now, when I talk of becoming your greatest version, a lot of people always ask me, Ralph, I want to find my purpose. I don't know what I'm here to do on planet Earth. Like, what am I going to do? And I say it's not that you don't know what to do. You don't feel worthy to do it. In life, we never attract what we want. We attract what we feel we are worthy for. Slow motion this side. What is more important than finding your purpose is actually knowing that you are worthy to do it. And that's where it really starts, right? That's where it really starts. So what really helped me along my journey was asking, who am I? The moment you start to strip all the layers of all of this programming, everything you've been told about yourself, your name, your nationality, your race, all of these man-made illusions, you begin to realize you are energy. And you are infinite. Therefore, you can do anything, go anywhere, and live the life you've always dreamed about. But I don't feel worthy to do that, Ralph. Well, along my early journey, I used to wake up every single day and think life is not going to get any better. In fact, some days I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and think life is not going to get any better because I didn't feel worthy. I was so conditioned that I could only go so far in society. What changed? If you don't feel you are good enough today, listen very closely. Everybody, every single person you see on planet Earth, at one point felt they probably weren't good enough. Why is this? Because everybody you see starts at humble beginnings. You might see a pro athlete, but they started somewhere. They had to fall down a lot, then they had to get back up. So it was the same with me. When I realized this, that everybody has insecurities, nothing will hold you back more than your insecurities. So it was a comforting feeling realizing that everybody is insecure about something. They don't feel worthy for something. They don't feel good enough. Okay. And that's what keeps people away from their greatness. But this is something we all experience. So what helped me was talking to other people who didn't feel good enough to realize, wait a minute, I'm not the only one. So we're going to get through this together. Many times we compare ourselves to other people. Comparison is the greatest thief of joy. Slow motion this side. Never compare yourself to anyone. Bad move. Because we are not the same. Everyone here on planet Earth is here for a different reason. They've got a different story than you. You've got to focus and swim in your own lane. But it works like this. The people you are comparing yourself to, they may actually be comparing themselves to you. How do I know this? Because it happened to me along my journey. I used to look up to certain people and say, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. And then these people would tell me, Ralph, I watch your videos. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that, right? So sometimes you don't even know who you are inspiring just by being you. I'm here to tell you, you are good enough. I'm here to tell you, you are worthy. And it starts when you start creating your own league, not being in competition with anyone, but being in harmony with yourself. 7-Day Vegan Challenge alert. We need to have a massive fruit festival. Where are we going to have it? Any locations? Someone saying, let's go to Brazil. Let's go to Brazil then, right? We do it there. We do it on Ipanema Beach. Great. When you get in shape and start to feel more confident in your body from eating a more plant-based diet, you start to feel better about yourself. You start to feel worthy. For a long time, I was eating a lot of junk, and therefore I felt like junk. There was a great study called the Finland study showing how people who ate a lot of junk food, guess what? They were more prone to depression. People who ate more vegetables, more fruits, right? They experience more levels of joy and happiness. So there's a clear link to food and mood. And I've seen that just by waking up, drinking a beautiful, beautiful spirulina smoothie, I feel so worthy that I can do anything, I can be anything, and I can go anywhere. I can achieve the life I've always dreamed about from when I was small. When it comes to never feeling good enough, a lot of us, we are constantly trash talking ourselves. We're constantly saying, I'm no good. Self-hating won't bring you closer to self-loving. Let me repeat that. Self-hating won't bring you closer to self-loving. Self-hating won't bring you closer to self-loving. And a lot of people don't love themselves enough. And that's really the catalyst that will help you feel good enough. I see time and time again, so many people always talk down on themselves. Okay, they actually gossip about themselves. How is that possible? Nobody knows, right? They talk to other people about how bad they are, right? Behind their back. It's not going to serve you. And I did that for a long time. I would say things like, Ralph, you're only good for a 9-to-5. Life isn't going to change. You got to do what they are doing, what's popular, what those trendy people are doing. Because you, Ralph, yes, can't do anything by yourself. You have no originality. Oh my gosh, I was so mean to myself. Then I realized I'm a left-handed Pisces. Hello, what does that mean? It means the right brain is fully active. I'm very creative. I can create out of thin air. I can create infinite abundance just like that. I started to tap into my true power. Once you believe in yourself, you will become unstoppable. Slow motion this side. So, in loving yourself, people say, how do you love yourself? To start feeling worthy, to start thinking you are good enough. You have to go to the place where you find what I call your greatest power. For me, it's coming out into nature. Yeah, I got a studio, but I would rather be in nature, because this studio, if I was to rent this out, it would probably cost $1 million, but it's free. What a deal. Everyone started somewhere. If you don't feel good enough today, if you feel your life is terrible because you see everyone taking a selfie like that, and you're just like, Everyone started somewhere. You don't want to be looking over at your neighbor's fence. You want to be focusing on growing your own seeds. So in times to come, you will be proud of the beautiful tree that's manifested. Everyone started somewhere. Rome wasn't built in a day. Ancient Kemet, the Great Pyramids, Great Pyramid of Giza wasn't built in a day. It was actually built in a few seconds by anti-gravity techniques. Sound, baby. So everything takes time, and that's really what has helped me become my greatest version and always feel good enough to realize that there is no quick fix. A lot of people, they just want it so quick. And I realized I had to study. I had a mentor, right? I was in 3-hour lectures day after day. I'm old school, right? And I'm new school, right? But I realized that it's a whole process. Once you can allow the process, you will start to feel good enough. Many times we are constantly judging other people. If you are a very critical person of other people, always analyzing them, chances are you're not going to feel good enough. What helped me along my journey was to realize that my judgment was linked into how I felt about myself. The moment I stopped judging people so much, guess what? What, Ralph? I stopped judging myself so much. And it was so bad. It was so much better. It was so much better because I could actually not keep judging myself constantly, right? But it only happens once you stop judging other people. Then you will feel better about yourself because you will start to see everyone as a unique creation. We don't have to compete. We have to get along and realize the contrast in the oneness of creation. Your mind, my mind, is sometimes not as reliable as it seems. In fact, our mind can play tricks on us. And I've seen it along my journey. Sometimes we believe everything we think. And sometimes we're just plain wrong because our mind creates a story. And that story gets fabricated based on our own programming, our own subconscious beliefs, right? So I never trust my mind. I always work from the heart space. The heart is more powerful electromagnetically than the brain. Heart math. Google. Do the research. Not on Google. Go to heart math, right? Find out how powerful your heart is. It knows so much. So I started to realize that in feeling good enough, don't just believe everything you think about yourself or that you think about others, because the mind sometimes gets cloudy, it gets contaminated. You have to be present. You have to absorb yourself in the present moment. And that's how to start feeling good enough. You have to realize that what it really comes down to is that the unhappiest people in the world are the people who care the most about what other people think. Now, I used to care a lot about what other people think. Nowadays, not so much, because I realized that, look, we live in a flash of light. Even if you were to live 1,000 years, that's nothing more than a drop in the ocean. Slow motion this side. So I realized that your time on planet Earth is limited. Yes, we are immortal, but you've got nothing to lose. Freedom is when you have nothing to lose. And that's when you start feeling free to say, actually, I might as well. You develop this confidence, the trust that now is permeating your entire being comes from knowing that tomorrow everything will change. People are getting older, babies being born, people passing away. Planet Earth is an airport. Buddha said, the problem is you think you have time, right? Fantastic. And I realized that you got to live in the moment. You got to make the most of where you are right now. And once you move into that mindset, once you move into that mindset, you will start feeling good enough because you're like, hey, I might as well. YOLO, you only live once or a million times. Most people aren't thinking about you. As strange as it may seem, most people aren't. Most people are so preoccupied with their day-to-day life. If someone is thinking about you, be very fortunate. You see, many times we don't feel good enough because we feel we are under the constant eye of other people, when that really isn't the case. Many of us don't realize most people have their own stuff to deal with. Some people got babies to feed. They got to study. They got to go to work. They ain't got time to think about you. They'll think about the cat down the road. So don't gas yourself up too much. Don't think the whole world is constantly watching you, thinking about you, because people are busy. And then guess what? That takes the pressure off for you to now start feeling good about yourself, to say, look, I might as well because, well, most people are so busy, right? And that really brings you the confidence that you've been waiting for. Ask yourself this one question. Am I happy doing whatever I'm doing? Many of us, we don't feel good enough because we are perfectionists. I meet people all the time. I counsel very successful people as well, and some people who are just living day-to-day life, all kinds of people. And some really successful people I meet, I'm like, why? Why do you have anxiety for? Right? And they're like, I'm a perfectionist. I have to always get it right, Ralph. There's a reason why a lot of artists suffer from depression, because they are perfectionists. They are trying to cater to the audience. That's a recipe for disaster. That's a programming in your subconscious mind from birth that has told you you are not good enough. Can I get a hello there? Can I get a hello? It's time to let that go. You don't want to cater to people. People say, Ralph, why are your videos so long? I say, because the right people who need it will watch it. I'm not trying to cater to you. I've done it before. Sometimes I make very short videos. Sometimes I make long videos. I'm here to share a very important message. A lot of people suffer from a lot of depression when they're trying to cater to people. Some people taking selfie after selfie after selfie. I counsel people who tell me that. And guess what they say? They say, Ralph, after it, I feel terrible. Models tell me this. I took 150 selfies, Ralph, and I didn't even like them. It took 4 hours, Ralph, and I feel terrible about myself. And they're beautiful. But it's never good enough when you are a perfectionist. It's never good enough when you're trying to win the approval of other people. Are you not entertained? You are not in a Roman Colosseum. Hello there. You are only here to be your true authentic self. You don't want to cater to people. You don't want to people please every single second. You got to respect yourself enough to live out your truth authentically. Naturally, people will gravitate towards it if it's meant to happen. But realize when it comes to feeling good enough, it starts with the attitude you have towards yourself. Right now, I realize I am good enough for luxury, to be spiritually rich, mentally rich, have a lot of love in my life, have health in my life, have happiness. And it feels fantastic. And then I just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? And there you have it in a nutshell. Have a beautiful day. We're out here. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana. Enjoy your day. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace. You